Welcome, guys. Today I am reacting to Your Responses Are Public from Rev Says This You. Now, Rev is a total legend if it comes to those things. And now that the freaking likes are actually not public anymore on Twitter, what I personally despise, I don't like it, even in the slightest, except you're a private person, then maybe it's okay. But if you're a person that actually shows themselves up in public, that's actually something you should still have, in at least my opinion, but it's fine. Let's see, your responses are public. Let's see what this is all about, and let's just start. And by the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button, and yeah, show me and Rev some love. Let's start.
Guys, Rev here. So this quote right here will be eternally relevant to Twitter users because they like to treat fictional characters like they're real human beings and treat real human beings like they're fictional characters, and they get mad at you for knowing the difference. And that's exactly the kind of stuff we're going to cover in this video. A bunch of Twitter users.
And yes, that's a very sad thing if you think about it, that somebody actually treats human beings worse than fictional characters. At the end of the day, that's just a question of why exactly. Because basically it's just, okay, no.
Being irrationally angry about fictional content and treating real people like garbage, whether it's random Twitter users or mangakas or what have you. Now, I'm going to rip the band-aid off and give you guys the grossest tweet we're going to look at in this video. Honestly, I don't.
People on this app will treat fictional characters if they were real people, and they talk about real people as if they were fictional, and then get mad at you for knowing the difference. Okay. Twitter? Is that bad? Gonna be honest, I don't understand why it's so disgusting. In which context? Let's ask like that.
I don't think it gets any worse than this, so brace yourselves. This conversation right here is pretty toxic and really sums up the
limits. Please find actual victims to care about rather than throw a fit over drawings. Okay. This is such a retarded way of thinking. It's actually crazy. How about you go find actual children in an adult relationship to jay off to instead of riling an art to get off. Weird. Okay.
types of conversations you see when it involves things like lolicon or fictional content on social media. Now, I understand if those sorts of things make you uncomfortable, you think they're disgusting, what have you, that's totally valid. But to do what this user down here is going to do is absolutely disgusting. Now, you can see this thread is like a graveyard, right? You have accounts that have gone private, accounts that have me blocked, people deleting tweets, people hiding replies. But eventually we get down to this interaction right here, and this is all the context you're going to need. So this user says this: please find actual victims to care about rather than throw a fit over drawings. Where this creature says this. This is such a stupid way of thinking, it's actually crazy. How about you go find actual children and adult relationships to jay off to instead of relying on art to get off? Weird ass.
Wait, I read this way wrong. What the freak? Now I understood the context. What the freak is wrong with you? Holy shit! Damn, for some reason it just didn't connect the dots until now. Whoa, this is unhinged.
This person is encouraging someone to assault real-life children instead of looking at drawings. They're so mad and so hell-bent on protecting fictional characters that they encourage someone to go out and hurt real-life children instead. Absolute insanity. You know what's even worse? This is not even the first time I've seen a tweet like this.
Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even surprised that it's not the first time. But also freaking disgusting. Oh my god, this is... How the F did someone write this down and thought that this is okay? I mean, Okay, I had a brain fart there. I admit it, like, I had a brain fart at the start. I didn't connect the dots, but right, what the F?
This month, I see these every couple of weeks on Twitter. It's absolutely crazy the lengths people will go to attack people over fictional content where human lives and children and their safety doesn't even matter anymore. It's all about protecting drawings and their delicate sensibilities surrounding that topic. And of course, there's a lot more I could say about users like that, but you can probably guess that they would all get me banned. But we get it, right? Twitter is absolutely obsessed with fictional content and being offended by it, and that's what we're going to look at for the rest of this video. A little bit more tame, but still pretty obnoxious responses involving fictional content. So I talked about this a few days ago. One big running joke on this channel is your likes are public. It's a very simple formula we have used time and time again, where Twitter users will complain about certain types of fictional content and attack others over it just to have that same type of fictional content in their own publicly visible Twitter likes. However...
Oops, sorry about that. Oh, the Caesar. I actually thought that the responses won't be as entertaining as the freaking likes if you actually just expose someone, but I mean the responses are unhinged if they are at this caliber.
About a week ago, Elon Musk in his infinite wisdom decided to make likes private, meaning that entire bit right there is completely gone. All likes are now private. You can't see other people's likes on Twitter, and while that's the end of one era, other eras come up. Now, a lot of people have tried to basically rewrite history and act like it is actually anime fans and lolicons who wanted this. So this user says, guys, the pedos complained to Daddy Elon too much about how everyone could see their lolicon likes. No, that is definitely not the case. Anyone who is enjoying this sort of content, number one, unfair to call them this thing right here, but also, I don't think those people actually care about who's seeing their likes. That much is clear. The only people happy about likes going private, largely, are people who are hypocritical on the subject of various fictional content. And now they're happy to like whatever they want.
Yep, and I agree. Because people who are actually into that stuff, they do not give a fuck if you actually like this or not. They honestly wouldn't care. But people who are hypocritical that actually like this stuff and pretend they don't, those are the ones that actually have something to lose. Those are the freaking actual monsters, to be honest. Because they hide. They hide very well. So, yeah.
Want without being called out for being a hypocrite. But on top of that, just the obsession, like you hear a site-wide policy change and the only thing you can think about is lolicons, like, yeah, rent-free. But anyways, in the words of Bear Grylls, improvise, adapt, overcome, okay? Likes might be private, but as I've stated previously, there are infinite ways to discover hypocrisy among Twitter users, and it's very, very obvious. Let's begin with a new one. Your retweets are public. So this is the post we're going to focus on. It's much funnier because it's been deleted. But it says this, nah, Pixiv is actually rotten though. Like, what do you mean you're shamelessly saying you're 34 on your profile and have a bunch of lolly rule 34 in your bookmarks? Yeah, your retweets, they're public, as this user points out. Now, they have Tatsumaki here, and I like to point this out for educational reasons. No. A lot of people aren't aware that despite being in her 20s, Tatsumaki is unquestionably a lolly, because lolly has nothing to do with age. It's just a petite body type with cute aesthetics in manga and anime. It has nothing...
Yes, that's basically it. But as I said, just so you know my freaking stance on it, I do not care about it because it's a picture, but if you actually like lolly like Vosh, then you definitely should go under some kind of freaking investigation. Because liking this stuff is one thing, but looking at it while they are unclothed, that's a very different thing.
To do with age. So Tatsumaki is a lolly, according to anyone with a knowledgeable definition of lolly. But even if you want to cope and seethe and say, no, I'm going to believe my own definition. Well, okay, here's more of the retweets, okay? You have shows like Onimai, which is a lolicon-filled anime. You have Panty and Stocking. You have underage Blue Archive characters. Another underage Blue Archive character is also a lolly.
You know what? You don't even need to freaking know from where they are. from all what I care, this could be a freaking 200-year-old undead. It's still the same bad stuff.
Lolly. You also have a very clearly sexualized lolly character right there that they're retweeting, and even some furry down here for good measure. Okay, I think they're definitely a hypocrite on many levels, even if you don't want to accept the Tatsumaki retweet. But moving on, here's another one. Your tweets are public. So we have this interaction again, talking about lollies again, where this user, who would eventually change their profile picture, said this: "Bro, still pretty much attracted to minors, kid-like appearance." So they're basically saying if you like lolly characters, you like minors in real life, apparently. And this is their tweets. Your tweets are public, as this user captures right here, where they're saying, "Just want to say gushing over magical girls is my favorite anime, no matter how freaky." And they also had a gushing over magical girls profile picture at the time. And that is obviously insanely hypocritical if you're attacking people over lolly. I mean, this is a very, very heavily filled show with lolicon, okay? That you couldn't get through the first episode if you were actually offended by that stuff. So blatant hypocrisy once again. And Doki Bird raises a great point here. She says this: "I hope Elon reverts the like changes just so the world can see what you all tried to hide." Now, I would give anything, like God, if I have one wish, it is to revert this policy, because during the time or the week or so that likes have gone private, I am...
But wait, if just for those who don't know who Doki Bird is actually a quite nice woman, that VTuber, and she did a lot of good stuff. She actually got really mobbed by a lot of firms, so there's that. But she actually bit through, did her stuff, and just did good, and still does good. And it's really more of a success story than anything else. And it's, at the end, it's inspiring. So, well, inspiring is maybe a bit overdone, maybe just a bit, but she really did good. She really did really, really good. But come on.
Sure that tons of antis and other hypocrites on fictional content have been liking the most crazy, deplorable, degenerate stuff on Twitter, feeling like they're safe. And if this was reverted, we can go back and look at their likes again. I could make so much content out of that, I could probably retire in a month, okay? It would be absolutely insane. So that's my one wish if I get to have one. Now we're going to revisit this Chainsaw Man chapter right here. So chapter 167 came out about 2 weeks ago, called Super Smooch. Now a lot of people were upset about this scene where Denji was getting an old-fashioned, okay? A lot of people got really upset on Twitter. Some people were saying they can't keep defending themselves as a Chainsaw Man fan anymore after that, which is insane given the type of content that's in Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
Even saw people starting to throw away their copies of Chainsaw Man in this crazy tweet right here. You should have known, right with the Funko Pops. You should have known this was going to be terrible, right? So they're performatively throwing away their copies of Chainsaw Man. You know they reached back in and grabbed those right afterwards, but you get the point. Now a lot of people are still angry about this. So Fumiko here, we have a cosplay. This is the character in question from that manga chapter, and you can see this person doing a cosplay of the character. However, in the quotes, you would see many people saying stuff like this: "Cosplaying a pedophile is a weird move." We are now coming after people and saying this kind of stuff over a cosplay of a fictional character. You are mad at a real person for the actions of a fictional character. Absolutely wild. And she would respond by saying this: "Not people calling me a pedophile for cosplaying Fumiko. By the way, Denji is 18 in the manga." And then provided this further reply saying, "Before you say anything, I'm not defending her. I've emphasized age because of pedophilia. Neither of them exist, and it's a manga. I don't care at this point if you consider it a pedo. There are people who do genocidal cosplay, and everyone knows it's just a cosplay. And with Chainsaw Man, you know how many Makima cosplays are out there? If you want to apply the same standard, like, you could say much worse things about people who are cosplaying as Makima. But honestly, with...
Yes, this is actually the thing I wanted to point out myself, but, well, as always, Rev is on the point here. It's just freaking... You can see a lot of really dark shade in crossplay. You can see really a lot of dark stuff. Murder, ARPist. Like, it's just because they crossplayed let's be honest, yes, the character is a pedo. No, she's not even. Because if Senji is actually 18 in the comics, then it's fine. Then it's not even that. But even if this is the freaking, like, come on. You have way worse people crossplaying. I even seen a freaking crossplay or attempted crossplay of the young girl that actually is in a freaking radical party. I don't know if I'm explaining correctly because I don't want to use those words. But I really hope that you understand, because yes, there is a guy that actually animated as a small girl, and he's very, 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 very bad. It's a very bad person that actually kills, slaughters, and massacres, and even those crossplays are there. And by the way, it's not even about the character most of the time. It's basically just how good the crossplay is.
With this explanation she's providing here, she shouldn't have to reply at all, but this is really all she had to say. Neither of them exist, and it's a manga. That's it, done. You've explained yourself entirely. Anything beyond that is ridiculous. Anyone who is offended beyond that, that's their problem. They have their own issues to work out. But here's some more news, and again, people treating real people like they're fictional characters. This is the mangaka behind Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Now, if you're a veteran of the scene, you probably remember back a couple years ago when this anime released and people went absolutely feral on Twitter. In positive ways too, but mainly a lot of outrage, okay? They basically hated this anime so much that they propped it up. It was the greatest promotion of an anime I think I've ever seen in my life. The amount of people giving it attention through negative complaints on social media. And they were mad because they believed in their heart of hearts that if you enjoyed the main character Uzaki, who is a college-aged, large-breasted fictional character, you were a predator. Full-fledged, no questions asked. That was the real narrative back then, and obviously things have gotten worse since then, to be quite frank, but we covered that a lot back a few years ago. I mean, it was like my right now we have Niji Sanji constantly providing content. Back then it was people complaining about Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. But here is an unfortunate update from the mangaka. They have COVID currently and they are recovering, and because of this diagnosis, they have had to postpone some of the developments with the manga, and they're taking a brief break. Okay. However, this would also be reported by this news account right here saying this.
Did you hear the stutter? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I was exactly the same. After I see this the first time, and it's just, let's just say, a bit overtuned. This is overtuned, mate.
Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out manga is going on an indefinite hiatus due to the author's COVID-19 recovery. I am convinced at this point a lot of these Western Twitter accounts who do anime news type stuff on Twitter, they rely and cash in on people being outraged and using posts like this to attack people. Like,
makes
they
sense.
know that a good portion of the people interacting with these posts are doing it in a negative way. Like, they're going after the author, they're attacking other users for liking this anime and manga. It's like, I know they're counting on it, and I think it's pretty gross. But here are some of the responses to that post right there. People comparing the mangaka to Hitler. Here's another person saying 9/11 for gooners and pedophiles. Anytime you see people using verbiage like this for fictional characters, almost guaranteed projection. One of those things might be projection. I think that's pretty safe to say at this point. Here's another one saying good, with minions celebrating like a Facebook Karen type level here, but you can see there's probably a reason why they have to publicly remind everyone that their birthday's in 4 days, because no one would care otherwise, or remember it because they're literally harassing people and wishing harm on them over a manga. Here's another one saying good riddance, seeing some patterns here, if you know what I mean. But yeah, overall, this is absolutely unhinged. And it sounds like that the mangaka here has recovered physically, but perhaps due to the after effects, they can't put their energy into drawing, and they're taking a further break right now. So, as always, wishing this individual a speedy and quick recovery here, and hope everything works out. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the return of this manga. And we didn't even get to the Blue Archive foot scene recently. This has been putting Twitter on fire, but honestly, with all this stuff going on with Blue Archive right now, I think this needs a separate video because there's too much to basically keep track of at this point involving Blue Archive. So we'll shelf that for another day. But as always, another round of people being absolutely vile over fictional content, and you hate to see it, but it's expected at this point with Twitter. But as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
I pressed the button way too early. Yeah, he's as always on point. Love this guy. He just does freaking the work of an angel. Just show him some love. Thank you and good night.